Hi folks, this one's a collab between myself and my friend Patrick from Paddy Joe Cooking, and the idea was that we have to come up with a recipe that was a casserole, A, and B, that it had gnocchi in it. So I've come up with this one, and we'll have to see what Patrick comes up with. His video will be linked in the description below this video, and it will also be up if you're on YouTube. It'll be up here in the cards. And let's get on with it. Another big thank you to my friend Bradley Bennett, who's so generously helped me with this video. Thanks, Bradley. Much appreciated, my friend. All right, ingredients. Well, this is a gnocchi casserole, so I'm going to use gnocchi, of course. This is a 500 gram pack of gnocchi, and I'm going to be using all of it because it's going to bulk up this little bit of chicken, and it's only a tiny chicken. It's 1.15 kilograms, so it's only just over 2.25 pounds. And gnocchi are really gorgeous. They are potato dumplings. They're Italian potato dumplings made with durum wheat flour and potato and just a little bit of salt. They're really gorgeous, and they've got a gorgeous texture, and they will soak up the juice we make in this casserole. As I said, I've got a small chicken. This is a very small broiler chicken. It's about 1.15 kilograms, so very, very light, very small, but it's going to go a long way. We're going to take it a long way with this gnocchi. We're going to turn this into a big meal. I've got 4 cloves of garlic. I've got some lovely lemon thyme from my garden, but you can use about half a teaspoon of common dried thyme if you have it. You can also use oregano, which has a very thymy kind of flavour. So either or in this dish. I've got thyme. I like thyme. I've got a love for thyme. I've got half a large onion. I've got a tablespoon of ordinary flour for making up the sauce, and I've got 350 grams of mushrooms. Again, the mushrooms bulk up this casserole and give it some body. I've got oil for frying, and you'll also need a couple of little shot glasses of a white wine. And in the time-honoured tradition of the great late Keith Floyd, I nearly said Pink Floyd there, the great late Keith Floyd, you need two glasses for this. That's one for the dish and one for the chef. Cheers, guys. Yum. That's gorgeous. That's a Pinot Grigio. So any white wine will do, any white wine you like. This particular Pinot Grigio is particularly paired with chicken and mushrooms, so it's going to make a nice gastronomic addition to the dish. So what I've done here is I've taken all the meat off the chicken, and I'm just cutting it up into pieces. I normally tear it up by hand, but you can cut it if you want. Cut it into pieces that will look nice in the casserole. And the other thing I've done is I've taken all the carcass, most of the skin. A little bit of skin got caught in these pieces, but most of the carcass and the skin is in here. That's where a lot of the flavour is. So what I've done is I've topped it up halfway with water, and I'm now going to turn that into a delicious stock. So I'm just going to heat that up and cook that out for about 45 minutes to an hour. And all you need to do with that is bring it to a boil, reduce it to a simmer for about an hour. Meanwhile, I'll get all the other veggies prepped up and ready to go. Okay guys, if you want to help me out, please like, share, subscribe, and let your friends know about it. Also, there is now a PayPal subscriber link down below in the show more section, and there's also a subscribe star link there if you want to help me out. Thanks in advance, and meanwhile the thumbs up help an awful lot. Thank you very much. Alright, now to make a start on the casserole, I want to get quite a lot of heat under that and bring it up to a good heat, strike heat, before I put in the oil and the onions. Okay, once your pan's come up to heat, you want to add a couple of tablespoons of good cooking oil to it. I'm using olive oil, and then into that, let that heat up a couple of seconds, and then into that you want to put in your onions. Get your onions in and give them a turn. Make sure that they're all coated in oil and cooking away. Okay, once they have a nice turn on them and they're starting to go translucent, don't allow them to burn. We want to go in with the garlic. Garlic is a great aromatic. There's a little bit of salt in with that garlic. You saw me prep using a little bit of salt, but we'll adjust for seasoning like I always do later on. And the reason I do that is because if I give an exact amount, it might not be right for you, and it might not be right for the type of salt you're using. So, oh, that's wonderful smell as that goes in. Just give that a little turn, make sure the garlic's cooking away, and you get that lovely waft of garlic and onions. And you don't want that garlic to caramelise. So the next thing we do is we're going to quickly throw in the herbs. Whatever herbs you're using, dried or fresh. Like I said, you want to use about half a teaspoon of dried herbs. Oregano or thyme, oregano, whatever you call it. Into that I'm putting in my tablespoon of flour, and I'm going to now let that cook in and just cook the rawness out of that flour just for a minute or so. Keep stirring and frying it. You don't want any particular part of this to burn. I'm getting a lovely waft now of the garlic, onion and herbs. That lemon thyme is really nice in this dish. It goes well with chicken. Okay, that's just about right now, so I'm going in with my little glass of wine. It's about 2 ounces, or what's that, about 200 ml? Something like that. And then that starts to give off another wonderful smell, and it also starts to lift the fond off the bottom. Right, the next thing we go in with is your chicken stock. You're going to need, if you're using stock cubes, you're going to need about 2 mugfuls of chicken stock, but I'm using that, and that is perfect for me. And as you see, we're making quite a lot of sauce here. Another little addition I'm going to put into here that wasn't in the ingredients list is a tablespoon, or about a dessert spoonful, of tomato paste, and I'll stir that to mix. And as you stir, it will start to thicken. It's not a hard dish to do this. It looks fancy and posh, but really it's not hard to do. Even I can do it. And it's the basic method for making many sauces. You know, you fry your aromatics, add some flour, then add your stock, So as you see, what we've got there, I don't want this to be a tomato based sauce. I just want the tomato there for the extra flavour. And it also gives a really gorgeous colour, doesn't it? Look at that. It's really nice. Now into that, I'm going to put the mushrooms. I'll just drop those all in and allow them to cook. They'll also, initially they'll soak up a bit of liquid, and then they'll start shipping their own mushroom juice into this beautiful dish. And you could call this a one pot dish, even though I've used a separate pot to make the stock, but I don't think that counts because this is actually a one pot dish. So let that cook down for a minute or two. I'm going to put the lid back on and let that cook down on full power for about another minute, maybe 2 minutes. I want it to steam a bit. Okay, let's have a look. Very nice indeed. It's absorbing all those delicious juices now that are coming out of the mushrooms, and that's all mixing together and marrying together to make a fantastic sauce. Now if you're using a glass Pyrex casserole, you're going to have to start all this in a large fricassee pan first, but this is the stage at which you would transfer it to your casserole dish, because everything after this is just additional stuff we put on top of it. So to that end, let me get my chicken. Here's the chicken, and then I'm just going to drop those in. If you're making a vegetarian version of this, you can do this with corn pieces. They're quite nice. I'm sure the vegetarians and vegans will know what they can add to this. And it's just a little chicken, but you can see it's going a long way. I've still got all this to put in. You can buy those little spring chickens already cooked in some supermarkets if you don't want to do what I do, or if not, just roast it like you normally roast a chicken in your oven. So I'm going to pat all that down, make sure it settles into the sauce, but I'm not going to stir it too much because I don't want that chicken to break up and start looking stringy. So that'll go in there. And this is the stage at which I need to test for taste first. So I'm going to have a little tasty poo, as my friend Jerry Ellen often says. I'm going to have a taste of that and just adjust for seasoning. Oh, boys and girls, if you do this, you're in for a treat. It's pretty good for salt. All that lovely lemon thyme is coming through. Fantastic. I like a lot of black pepper, boys and girls, so it's up to you how much you put in. It's already looking pretty good, but now we need to put in our gnocchi. So I'm going to turn the heat off from that and then just add the gnocchi, and you can add them however you like in a fancy pattern, or just chuck them in and spread them out like I'm doing. Like I said, this is a collaboration with Patrick of Paddy Joe Cooking, and the link to his channel, and to his version of this will be up in the cards, and also down in the show more, the description of this video below the video. So have a look in there. Make sure you go over see Paddy Joe's what he's done. I haven't seen it yet, but the link will be in those places I told you. Go have a look at him. He's a great guy, he's a great fun guy, and he's also a great cook. He doesn't make a big noise about it, but he's an excellent cook. So go over and check him out and give him some love. At this stage I want to throw it open to any internet cooks out there that want to give this a try. The only rule is that you've got to make a casserole and use gnocchi in it. So they can be handmade gnocchi or store-bought gnocchi, however you want to do it. And the choice of all the other ingredients is up to you. And what we'll do is I will make a playlist, and I suspect Patrick will make a playlist as well, as a Gnocchi Casserole playlist, which will be some kind of a challenge. And everyone who makes a video and lets us know about it will find their video on the playlist and in the challenge, and then perhaps at some future event, some live event, we can discuss your thoughts on each recipe. How's that sound? Right, I need to cover this up, and that now goes in the oven covered 180 degrees or 350 degrees Celsius for half an hour covered, and then all you do is remove the lid and then cook it for a further half hour with the lid removed, and that should be absolutely wonderful. So we'll bring you back when it's ready. So let's have a look how this turned out. Oh yeah, oh, it looks impressive. Let's see what you think. Oh, wow, that is really quite impressive. It smells fantastic. I'm just going to give that a little sprinkle of dried parsley. You can drop some fresh herbs on it, or fresh parsley if you've got it. I don't, so I'm putting this on it. It improves the look and the flavour. Just a little. So there you have it. Now for a taste test. Alright, here goes. A bit of mushroom, bit of chicken. The wine's there, that lovely lemon thyme is there. And let's try one of the gnocchi, shall we? It's yielding, but then there's that lovely crispness of the ones of the gnocchi that are on the top, where the top of the gnocchi is actually crisped. It's quite good. That'll go down really well, and it won't break the bank. I'm rather pleased with that.